NFL careers are like hourglasses. And most sports careers in general work like hourglasses. I'm talking about old school hourglasses where the sand literally drops down, tick, tick, tick. Each grain of sand, you flip it over, and it falls down into the other side. Now, some hourglasses are bigger than others. Some hourglasses are the size of me. They're 6, 7 feet tall. They're huge. They're almost used for decorations, and they're used for decorations in houses. They're just huge. Some hourglasses are like the ones you get at the dentist as a kid, and they're only there for about a minute to teach you, you should brush your teeth for this long. Flip over it. I don't know if anybody else got to be tricked like that as a kid. I did. It was not a natural teeth brusher. And I'm thinking about that. And I was watching the Bengals-Steelers game last night. And that's all that was really clear to me. Is this was an hourglass. And Andy Dalton's hourglass, it's on the last few grains of sand. Now, there's nothing wrong with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton had a good career. Andy Dalton made the playoffs several times. Andy Dalton went to the Pro Bowl several times. He has several Bengals passing records. Andy Dalton has had a good career. While his sand was ticking from his hourglass, he was fine. The sand's just almost up. Coaches, we always hear when you're a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback, the coaches are going to get film on you and then you're going to have to change. Well, that doesn't stop. They don't just go, oh, he's in year 3 or 4. We don't need any more film on him. We know exactly what he is. No. There was a team of personnel on every single NFL team dedicated to doing nothing but watching film. And especially when they pick up bad tendencies, like you forcing the ball to a certain receiver, or you not being good on your left or right side, that's all information they bring back to the coach, and that stuff the coach can use to game plan for you. And there is too much film and too much negative film on his bad habits on Andy Dalton. That's why, if you notice, the Bengals aren't just losing games. If the Miami Dolphins were in the league, the Bengals would have the worst plus-minus of teams. They're not just losing close games 17-13, 27-21. No. When they lose, they're losing, and it's bad. And Andy Dalton's never had a great arm. Andy Dalton's never been a great over-the-top athlete. So not only is there more time, not only is there more film, Father Time is undefeated. He's just getting older. He's not getting better. He's regressing. But as I said, that's okay. It's just time for the Bengals to move on. Not everybody gets the 6-7 foot treasured hourglass. That's a Tom Brady. That's a Drew Brees. That's Peyton Manning. Sometimes you get an Andy Dalton. You get, Michael Vick's career wasn't super long. You get these 1 to 2 minute hourglasses. Those are the ones you simply flip over, tell your kids, hey, start brushing your teeth. When it's done, you can stop. And the Bengals are on the end of their Andy Dalton hourglass. And they need to take advantage of it, because coming up later in the show, I'll tell you why this is the best time. If you are one of those teams that are at this either bad or approaching terrible, and you're in increased years of mediocrity, this is the perfect time to turn over, especially in the AFC, where the AFC is probably at its weakest it's been in a decade. Segueing from there, a quarterback who I don't know how his hourglass is working at all. His is going up, down, they're flipping it back around. I was talking about the Rams and Bucs game yesterday, and I didn't think it was a great game. I thought it was sloppy. I thought there was a lot of turnovers, a lot of miscues, just missed assignments, blown coverages, a whole bunch of stuff that led to an exciting score, but not an exciting game. And now, when I went back and looked at it, I'm even more confused for the Buccaneers, and I don't know what they do in their situation with Jameis Winston. If I were to give you a quarterback, just for example, a quarterback that when he's great, he's going to be great. I mean, he's going to be up there with the top 5 guys, top 10 guys in the league. He's going to look like an all-pro future Hall of Famer. And not only that, you give him some weapons, he could put up 30, 40 points. Oh, you gave him Mike Evans, O.J. Howard. He could go into L.A. and beat the Rams. He could go into New Orleans and beat the Saints. If you're the Bucs, you'd be sold on that player. But then there's the downside, and he could also go to a division rival, have a division rival come to him at home and score 3 points. Or he could throw 4 interceptions, or he could be so bad for a duration of time you feel the need to bench him. If I was talking about that player, most people would assume I'm talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick has some of the highest highs. He's had 3-4 games in a row. Remember, he started last year on the Bucs over Jameis Winston. And we had Fitz magic for the first month of the season. He was on for 300 yards, multiple touchdowns. And then he came back down to earth and started throwing 2 to 3 interceptions in games and started only getting you less than 10 points in games. And you're like, okay, it's the Ryan Fitzpatrick thing's not going to work. But the difference with Ryan Fitzpatrick is Ryan Fitzpatrick's older. He went to Harvard. Not as much is expected out of him. So when he gives you those great games, it almost all comes off as a bonus. When Jameis Winston gives you those great games, he's the number 1 overall pick. He's got a better arm. He went to Florida State. He's young. Jameis Winston's supposed to do these kind of things without giving you these extreme lows. The Tennessee Titans drafted Marcus Mariota second in the draft Jameis Winston went into. And I think they're a lot more clear on their quarterback than the Bucs are with theirs. Because Mariota might be inconsistent, but Mariota doesn't have the highs of highs that Jameis Winston has, nor his lows quite as low. They could go into this offseason and get Mariota a new contract and extend him for 2 years on an average NFL quarterback deal. Still probably too much money considering how much quarterbacks make. But what do you give Jameis Winston? Jameis Winston now has beaten Carolina. He's gone in and beaten the Rams. He's got 50 points in the game. He's got a couple multiple touchdown pass games. Is it simply a matter of the Bucs have the right coach and Bruce Arians is going to turn Jameis Winston into Big Ben? Or is Jameis Winston going to continue to be who he's always been, which is quintessentially the Black Ryan Fitzpatrick, and you're going to get these great 3 to 4 games, and then you're going to get the really bad 3 to 4 games? If you're the Bucs, tread lightly when it comes to getting a new contract this offseason for Jameis Winston. Because as good as he looks and as great as he looks in moments, he's had just as many flame out and bad moments throughout his career.